Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. It's time for that mod collection demo shop update this week. Alright, I'm thoroughly convinced Gibson has fixed the mod collection Gibson.com website. They were actually 3 minutes early this week. I didn't have any issues refreshing the page, getting it to load, so it's either they fixed it or there's just less people looking at these things at release time, which it could be either or. But let's dig into what you missed. Starting with the coolest ones, Metallic Pear in the 70s Flying V body style. You guys know me, I like fruit-influenced guitars, so I'm glad we've got a pear this time. Need a little pear guy on the pick guard. Is it my favorite color for a Flying V? Not really, but it's got a cool metallic sheen to it, going from light green to dark green, but listed at a premium of $26.99, and it sold quickly. But check this Les Paul Classic out. Natural satin finish, but that has some interesting wood grain, and I like the witch hat knobs on it. And the whole double blacked out pickups kind of reminds me of like the Brazilian Dream Les Paul, except without the finish. But during the satin refinish, we lost our Les Paul modeled silkscreen. Oh well, looks like they had more of those red backplates to burn through this week as well. Alright, so you guys have heard of Blueberry Burst, right? And Blueberry Fade? Meet the next one within the series, Blackberry Fade. The standard 60s was pretty cool for 25. So they basically built upon the popular Blueberry Burst and then just kind of made it a little bit darker for Blackberry Fade. I'm thinking Gibson could get away with making this an actual color and people would lose their minds again. I remember when Blueberry Burst first came out, people were just over the moon with that thing. And I thought it was nice, but I didn't quite fully understand the hype behind it. But I do like blue Les Pauls, but this one has just a little bit of a darker hue to it. I like it, especially with the black plastics and the pull piece-less pickups really just make this something different. Interestingly enough, again, no Les Paul model silkscreen on it, but it's called a Les Paul Custom on our truss rod cover, and the back was left natural. But things continue to get sweet with this classic studio? What? There's been a lot of weird name guitars, especially in the Henry J era, like the Junior Special, the Classic Customs, and the Custom Classics. But trust me guys, there's never been a Classic Studio before. But it's called Cotton Candy Burst. Alright guys, hear me out on this one. It's probably the most exotic refinish we'll see this week, and I didn't really like it. However, just wait, because right now it just looks like you have a really thin, weird-looking red border. You got your blue pickup rings with a matching blue finish and your white knobs. Like, it's okay. And then you flip it over to the back and you got like a weird 40-60 neck as far as the colors go and a matching thin outline. I feel like these colors really would have worked well in a more of a teardrop shape burst, and like the regular burst on the neck, it would actually look cool. But it's this photo right here that sold me. Okay. It doesn't appear to have any bursts on the side, but the reason why it has such a thin stripe around the edge is they just painted the entire edge that cotton candy red color. So even though we can't really appreciate it in the photos, it would definitely have an interesting side profile view in person because you'd see all the red on the side, but then the blue would kind of peek out. So that's one I would file under, probably looks better in person. Although that's definitely a studio and they're asking quite a premium, but somebody fell in love with it. Gibson was in a festive mood. We got Summer Shiraz. It just looks like a pale red color, I guess is the best way to put it, but it works well with the all blacked out plastics, hardware, pickups, all that. Oddly enough, we have a lefty Les Paul custom truss rod cover on it. Okay. And it was a full-on refin. I thought this was a nice solid offering. Slight discount, cool color, why not? Whoa, 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 whoa. Sir? Thornbucker pickups in this? Huh, like Sir does their own guitars. Okay, Gibson Custom Shop, I demand an explanation now. Why won't you make me a Les Paul Custom with pure vintage 65 Fender pickups if you're gonna put Sir in stuff? Next up, we've got a Cobalt Sky Les Paul Tribute. This was a pretty stellar refin also. I mean, it would be better if it had an ebony fretboard, but that dark candy blue finish is sweet. But the real kicker on this one is it has a maple neck, as tributes do, but you can tell there's a little bit of flame figuring in there. It's probably not quite as good as the photos are making it look, but it's got some figuring to it. What this really needs is a cream-colored stinger back here, you know, the same shade as these back plates. That would tie everything in so well. But that was offered at $1,900 and has found a new home. We've got some more of those natural vibes here with amber satin. Basically a natural finish with a little bit of a yellowed hue to it. I like how the pickups just seem to be voids. And the back. Clear back plates, we've been seeing that, but look at this. It's a natural back, but the headstock has a little bit of candy cane figuring to it. The effect is a bit easier to see from far away. And now the boring ones this week. We had not one, not two, not three, but four very similarly modified Les Paul standards. There was one of the 345s and 60s Cherry with a Seymour Duncan pickup in it, and HB knobs. A 70s Deluxe that got modded over to P90s. And then this confusing beast. So it looks like one of these. You know, the Voodoo series, except for this just appears to be a wine red Les Paul Studio that has the same pickups in it, because this does not appear to have the maple neck. So if you hate maple necks, but you've always wanted a Voodoo, from modern production anyways, give this a go. So that's going to wrap it up for the mod collection. Surprisingly, we've got about 10 guitars left, including a few from last week. I'm surprised this guy's still here, but I guess the price is a bit high. But it is unique. So let's jump on over to the demo shop, US side. I like the theme of this 70s Flying V. You know, 70s, peace, hippies, you got stuff going on. Why not do this to the 70s Flying V? Because we got the Les Paul piece knobs on here, and we got pink pickup rings. Easy to swap back if you don't want that. However, there's not much of a discount on that. The 60th anniversary RO is not a bad price at $5,000. Now granted, the 1960s and 1958s, they're a little bit harder to sell as compared to the 1959 reissues anyways, but at least the ROs list for the exact same price. So this one being down to $5,000, that's a sweet almost $1,600 savings here for just a couple of scratches that you'll probably have on most of them anyways. And it's an okay top. This classic kind of has an interesting figuring in it. And we've got the return of the ketchup mustard Les Paul special, this time done up in left-handed version. I like the fact that the knobs are a slightly different hue. You might not have noticed that until you really zoom in there to look, but they're even playing on the themes there. Did they learn their lesson though? Is there a green headstock stinger for relish? Nope, just more ketchup back here with the red plates. The theme this week must have just been witch hat all the guitars, because here's another 60 standard that has them. Must have a surplus of those things. Speaking of those 59 reissues, here's one of them. I actually really like that top. It's almost too aggressively flamed right here, and then fades out to nothing, but that makes it unique at the same time. But then over here, you got that super wide flame that I love, mixed with almost obnoxiously circular wood grain over there. That thing's got character. I like it. And you're getting a $1,500 discount, I'm all right with that. Nowadays, when it's easy to get the 60th anniversary ones, I mean, they're a little bit cheaper, but once they become a little bit more rare, potentially the anniversary models could go up. If you're going to get one and you like to speculate about future value, definitely get an anniversary one. But remember, every 10 years, they recycle the exact same anniversaries, and the next one is the next latest, greatest thing. However, eventually there will be a wealthy collector out there that goes, I want the 40th, 50th, 60th, 70th, 80th, 100th anniversary of all the R9s or something. And that's your or your children's time to strike to sell it. The 61 Standard SG looks like a custom shop to me. It's not, it's a Gibson USA, but something about that wood grain just looks so dense and nice. That's what I love about the 90s era SGs. They're so dense. The wood is dark. You can kind of see what I'm talking about right here. See how light that neck is compared to this? That's not a maple neck, that's also mahogany. It's just a different color. I'm betting that thing's heavy though. Not too bad, 8 pounds. Here's an interesting Randy Influence custom. Ultra heavyweight aged. Might have some Steve Jones vibes here as well. But what made this one interesting to me comes down to our headstock. Okay, I see what you guys are doing here. This is a phenomenon that actually happens. I see it all the time on like Norland era Gibsons. Occasionally, the lacquer will flake off of the custom logo. And for me, it's a big turnoff. I don't like it, but like a heavily aged guitar that it happens, it's cool. So they're trying to replicate that, and that's the first time I've seen them try that. So I'm cool with that, and then they tried to replicate this type of wear around the headstock. But wow. Okay, that's fascinating. Are they starting to do Murphy aged ones like this? Because this is a regular Les Paul custom. Those are $5,000, but then the white ones have a $500 surplus on them. That might have changed between the last time I looked at it. So they're charging you about $1,200 for the aging job. Is Gibson trying to make Murphy Labs more affordable? This could be a sneaky prototype or something. If you were in the market for a Carina Flying V with the new series, here's one for $2,500 off. That just goes to show you that Gibson knows that they're charging a premium for those things if they pretty regularly discount them by 25%. I just wanted to say, I'm shocked Warm Sky is still here from last week. I think their problem here is they went too crazy with the plastics and the pickup choice. What they need to do is pull all that stuff off, just do regular white plastics and go regular chrome hardware, and I think they could sell this. Or go as far as just doing white everything, cloud in the sky type things. But now let's check out what has sold already. Still upset for missing this thing. We got another modern double cut standard. You can check out the review and demo if you need to learn more about those things. One of the Guitar Center exclusives went a Lefty 345. Another one of those Epi USA Casinos. A regular Explorer. Fantastically grained out classic. Another 345 joining the ranks. Oh wow, Custom Shop 335. Uncovered Pickup Black Les Paul Custom. I was actually helping someone with a private help session. It was either this one or a different one. He wanted a Black Les Paul Custom with chrome hardware. He was asking me to import one for him on his behalf from Europe because a dealer had a custom run of those done up like that. And I told him the cheapest way to do that is just buy one of these demo shop ones, change out the hardware, and it's going to be much cheaper. It's either that or made to measure it, because shipping it back, paying import duties and taxes and things like that, it's just going to be too expensive. So it looks like he might have went this way. And then we had a pretty nice top on that 50 standard. So let's jump the ocean here and see what is in the European side of things. It's nice that these guys have been continuing to update. Nothing too crazy, but a few notable items. We had one of those B2 Explorers. Man, I did do a review on one of these, but it was pretty much the precursor to the 70s Explorer is the best way to put these things. I remember not really being in love with my B2, but I also remember these things were pretty rushed out of the Gibson factory in most cases, but hard to beat at 1100. We had a J45, a 355 Satin again this week, this time modified with the black plastics and hardware, a 339, another great deal on a 60s Tribute. That is a really good price, $950 including everything and shipping, and it's really not in that bad of condition either. An Explorer Custom, super flamed out standard. Now it's one of the older ones. I would guess 2016 just by looking at it. Yeah, close enough, 2017. A Lefty, another Tribute, and now the things that sold. This was from a couple of weeks ago, but crazy price on that. That's great, whoever got that. Because remember, we're in the European market right now. Things are generally anywhere between 10 to 30% higher over there. And it's not like it's absolutely trashed or anything either. It's just got some scratches. Oh my, that was a steal, 900? Okay, normally 900 for a studio is not that crazy. But again, remember, different market, but this is one of the 2018, 2019 versions. For some reason, for those years, studios got binding on the fretboard. Looks like this one was marked down so cheap is because you can see this line right here. What that is, it's the maple top joining to the mahogany body. You're eventually going to get a line around there, especially with the dark solid colored finishes. Similar things going on here, neck meets body. Completely cosmetic, the nut does the exact same thing on almost every Gibson. Those lines right there show where the nut actually ends and the wood begins. So someone got themselves a stellar deal on that. 61 SG with some pretty cool wood grain, but this was another stellar deal. 59 reissue 175 even. I just thought this was like some random 175. No, custom shop reissue, probably one of the old Memphis ones, but still 32 including everything, even stamped giant demo on the back. I like the way that one looks. And then they had a couple of these double cuts also show up for the good old blowout prices of those. Being able to get that price today in that market, that was great. So overall, I would say an alright week, a couple of cool custom colors, nothing to really get crazily excited about, but I hope you enjoyed seeing all these models all the same. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.